I want to play a game, but I'm all by myself and I can't. Okay, that's enough. Let's get to it, guys. Let's get to it. Come on, calm down. Let's get to it. Hey, you guys, welcome to Kids Club this week. So this week we have a new lesson and a new board game, and you already know what that means. It means that one of you guys, you're going to win the board game this week, and I'm so excited to be with you guys this week and to teach you the rules of, you guessed it, checkers, along of course with our Bible story. So I absolutely love the game checkers, although I haven't played it in quite some time actually quite a while. But I'm going to tell you guys how to play. But first, I want to let you guys know something. I want to let you guys know what our main point this week is, and it is to put others before yourself. And we're learning all about what it means to be humble and to not jump ahead. Before we get into that though, I am going to explain the rules of checkers to you guys. You'll need the wooden game, of course, and there will be 24 playing pieces each that come inside. This game is played with 2 players only, and the object of this game is to remove all of your opponent's checker pieces from the game board by capturing them. But first, what you need to do is to take your 12 pieces of the same color and place them all on the dark squares of the first 3 rows in front of you. And your opponent will do the same thing. Then you choose who goes first, and on your turn, you move any one of your checkers. But there are rules to how you can move your game pieces around. So let's call these rules movement rules, okay? So always move your checker diagonally forward toward your opponent's side of the game board. Another movement rule is to move your checker 1 space diagonally to an open square to beside the checker that you jumped. So when you jump over an opponent's checker, you can capture it. If all of the squares that beside your checker are occupied, your checker is blocked and it cannot move, which really sucks. So if you jump an opponent's checker, you will capture it, remove it from the game board, and place it in front of you. So now let's talk about becoming a king in this game. As soon as one of your checker reaches the first row on your opponent's side of the game board, it becomes a king. Place another checker of the same color on top of it. Now this double-decker checker can move forward or backward on the game board. Say that 5 times fast. And you might even be wondering, Pastor Chantel, can you just tell us how you're supposed to win this game, please? I'm getting to it, okay? So, well, the person who captures all of the opposing checkers from the game board wins the game. That's how you play checkers. You see, this game is all about jumping ahead. The entire goal is that there is always one opponent who is jumping over another opponent's pieces in order to win first and to get ahead. And that's how the game works. Now, I'm going to read a few verses for you to see how this game of checkers relates to our story today. The verses I'm going to be reading from is in Matthew 18, verses 1 to 5.
At that time, the disciples came to Jesus and asked, "Who then is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven?" He called a little child to him and placed the child among them. And he said, "Truly I tell you, unless you change and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. Therefore, whoever takes the lowly position of this child is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. And whoever welcomes one such child in my name welcomes me."
So in this story, we see that it is Jesus who's talking, and he's telling his disciples a very important principle for life, and he's advising that if we are willing to take any position that Jesus instructs us, it's a good thing. And as believers, as people who love and trust in Jesus, we need to be willing to take any position that Jesus instructs. And in this verse, he is instructing to his disciples to have childlike faith, to become like little children, essentially, as it is the people who take the lowliest positions that will enter the kingdom of heaven. So in the game of checkers, you are assuming a position already. You want to be the first to collect all of the game pieces, and you will do just about anything to get yourself there, even if that means jumping over, on top, around, and ahead of your opponent. And in life, Jesus wants us to think differently. He even says in this verse that whoever takes a lowly position will be the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. And God wants us to be willing, to be flexible in life, and He wants us to put others before ourselves. When we are willing to do what He asks us to do, our goal is not to win at life all the time. No, our goal is to serve Him, and by serving Him, we are putting others before ourselves. We are not jumping ahead. There are many verses in the Bible that tell us of this principle, and I'm going to read from another one from the book of Philippians chapter 2, verse 3, and it says, "Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, but rather in humility value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interests of others." You see, here it is yet another verse that talks about putting others above ourselves. And you might be asking, Pastor Chantel, like, how do I do this? How exactly do I put others above myself? And what does that even look like? Like, how do I even know I'm doing it right or doing it at all? And honestly, that's a great question. I'm happy you asked it. Because if you didn't ask, like, how would you really know, you know? You see, putting others above yourselves means to think of their needs before your own. And I'll give you an example of this. So I have a younger brother, okay? And when we were younger, he needed help to make breakfast. And because I was a bit older, I could help him, and I could help him make it, and I could do it for him. And I saw that he needed something, he needed to eat, and I helped him, and I helped him with what he needed. And now that we're older, we can help each other with the things that we have. And so putting others before yourself means to see someone's need and to help them with it, and to help them accomplish their need together. And maybe if you have any siblings, you can kind of relate to this message, and you maybe have had to make your siblings breakfast before, but it doesn't just have to be with siblings. It can be with friends or family members too. And I hope that you guys can enjoy what we learned today together. And now we're gonna draw for the game board. But before we do that, I wanna say thank you guys for joining today, and we will see you next week, okay? Congratulations to you guys who won. I'm so happy for you. You won this game of checkers, and I'm so excited for you guys to play it. All right, we will see you guys later. Bye.